Right, hello everyone, welcome to Virtual Racing Project Season 6, Round 1, and we are, I believe, finally underway for the first round in Melbourne, the first ever time VRP has visited Melbourne. Check that we are actually live. Yes, we are, the voice is working, and I can send in the stream. Okay, so, because the stream from before will be deleted, I'm sure, Charlie MG06 is your man on pole position, new in the Alpine. His teammate behind, I think, is about 7th or 8th. So yeah, Charlie's second or third pole position, I think. Zalbudra, actually, the other big story, is 6th place. Magnificent qualifying for him on an 18 car grid. You can see his grid box, his pit garage right there, and I'm sure his team will be very happy. I don't think we have a formation out today, so I'll quickly just say Sinan, the reserve, and the Ferraris in P2, Callum Birch is P3, Tim Rollfish back in the Aston Martin is P4, and finally we are lights out and underway, and we have some racing at the front. The timetable is a bit scuffed, but it's Charlie in the lead, who cuts across Sinan from the start and will keep the lead on the way in. There's a yellow flag at the back, that's Bino, Charlie's teammate, so it's already an Alpine sandwich. There's almost a dive from Sinan, looking to see if he can try to get the lead early on. It's hard to overtake at Melbourne at times because of the dirty air, and he's already under pressure by Callum. The two Ferraris having a good quali and a slap in 2nd or 5th. The two Aston Martins as well, 4th and 6th, so they have teammates to back themselves up so far in this race. If everyone can get away clean on the opening few laps, Zalba has dropped a position to his fellow countryman Shockard on the opening lap, and Charlie's beginning to build a bit of a gap here. Sinan trying to save some ERS, maybe saving too much, because around the outside Callum Birch in Herod's car, the current champion, goes and takes the position. Tim Rollfish has made the most of it as well as Sinan's off. Sinan is off and ghosted and comes back onto the track. Very, very poor start to the opening lap of the Grand Prix for the reserve and the Ferrari. The teammate of the current champion Herod, and this is the man who was in his old car, Callum Birch, who's benefited from that by making the overtake before the spin up into P2. Tim Rollfish, maybe Sinan will have some blame to put on the Aston Martin guy who went down the inside at the second part of the chicane, and that's where Sinan spun. I didn't see if Tim Rollfish was to put any blame for it, but there's certainly one to look back on, something that opinion may spread based on what we can see later on, but that does now mean Chocolat up to P5 and Zalbert up to P6, and there's a gap. It's the two Salbers who have remained put for their team for Season 6, and they're going to swap position here. Yannick down the inside, that's opportunistic, that's brilliant from the Dutchman on the Austrian. And there is quite a battle behind. There's two V-cars behind the Williams of Dolga, who's back on the grid and back in the points as well. When down the inside was looking there, Hazardtime and Timbed side by side. Timbed's had a relatively poor start, and Tizian's getting Yannick back again. They swap positions, and Callum Birch cutting the corner kind of there, but you're allowed to in this game, is on the back of the Alpine, and he looks to go around the outside. Nothing doing there. Charlie defends it well. Sinan is out the session. He is retired manually, so the stewards will certainly have to look into that one. But we have a top 6 so far. Dolga, in all of the madness, we have a safety car out now as Lord Purcell's out the race at this part of the track. Well, he was caught up in the battle with the two Saubers. Felper was in there, Dolga was in there as well. We have a car in the pit lane, that's Hazardtime. Benjo following him in as well. VRP and the other Haas of Schockheim as well. The two new Haas guys, two rookies, are into the pit lane. I was going to say Dolga has found a way past Tizian and Yannick, but then the safety car has been brought out. Lord Percival is out of the Season 1 opener, and I'm not too sure what happened. I'm sure we will end up with his thoughts in a bit. But either way, the safety car is out, and for the first time, we'll look at tyre strategy. Everyone was on mediums, okay, and the 3 out of the 4 who pitted have gone to the hards, so that's hazard time on the mediums. Benjo, Fierro, Shockheim on hards. And we'll just see as to when they catch the safety car. It should be a relatively short one. Lord Percival saying that the error that took him out of the race was purely on him. So I don't know if there's maybe a bit of a too late braking going into the gravel, similar to what we saw with Fernando Alonso in quali back in, I believe it was 2021 in the Alpine. Speaking of Alpine, right up the back of the safety car right now. Hazard time back into the pits again, but we'll run you through the order. It's Charlie on first position, Callum Birch second, Tim Rollfish third, Harold fourth, Shockard fifth, Zalba sixth, Dogger seventh, Tizian eighth, Yannick ninth, and Felber 10th. If hazard time onto the hards again, so he started on the hards because they are 2 laps old. Potentially now looking to go to the end of the race on those hard tyres, so he's done the lap on the mediums. If he's going to the end now, that's a very interesting strat to keep an eye out for, an Alex Albon type strat, so I will keep a keen interest on how that one goes because I'm a big fan of that. It's like a Monaco type strat. So yeah, currently the Charlie won the season 2 opener. He has 2 race wins to his name, and you know, if he wins today, a bit of an issue for Herod. Not too sure what's going on there. If he's lagged out, he's ghosting, so yeah, I don't know what happened there. And there's also penalties that I've missed as well. 10 seconds for Tizian, which I did not see. Shockheim as well with a 3. But the safety car coming in, and it's a Tim bed into the wall. He's not got any damage, but it's all happening now. So Harold has lost several positions, down to 12th. Ferrari, who are in a good position at the start of this one from quali, are in now a terrible one. As I was going to say, Charlie has 2 wins so far. If he makes it 3 today, 2 of those wins he has will be from the season 1 or from a season opener. You know, it is not an outstanding stat, but it's weird that it happened twice. His other win was from a season finale, so he likes the extremes, you can say. Charlie gets us underway. Under the first safety car of the season, the restart is here. There's one car already flinging off to the inside. That's Tizian, I believe. As yeah, Charlie defends into turn 1, no trouble there. Zalba though has got is a bit of a cork in the bottle here. He's got Dogger and Tizian either side of him. Tizian's going to go down his inside. Good move. I don't know where Zalba's ended up. He's ghosted, so he must have had some sort of issue. He's lost several positions. Down to 9th. He had such a good lap 1 until the safety car. He was clinging onto the top pack, but the bit of a sloppy restart. Tizian, Dogger, Yannick, Felper all go through, and they're side by side out front. That's Callum Birch and Tim Rollfish going to swap positions. Callum Birch then comes across on Tim Rollfish's reserve teammate. Shockard trying to just bump draft him through, and Shockard's through as well. So Callum Birch losing 2 positions for the price of 1. Zalba then trying to make one back on Felper. It's all going on here. Dolga defending from Tizian because he's trying to get back up into P5. There's contact between the 2 and they're connected and they're going into a wall. Tizian emerges. Dolga, I think, may have damage from that. Zalba, in all of that, is back into 6th. Yannick is 5th. So Zalba back past Felper, Herald in 8th. Bino is back up from the back of the grid to 9th. Timbed in 10th. And yeah, Dolga isn't going to be too happy about that. He's got damage. Tizian must do as well as he comes into the pit lane. At the time's made a couple positions up on the 2 Hasses as well, as Felper is going to have a look if he can get a better exit on Zalba. No DRS at this moment. They will, however, on the next straight that gives out DRS. Yannick struggling a little bit through there. But certainly a bit of an action-packed race so far through that same corner as Charlie now is going to lose his lead. I think rather tactically he's going to let Tim just stay in front of him here, save a bit of ERS and see the pace that Tim has. There's more ghosting from cars as Charlie now got to watch out for Chocolat behind. Yellow flag in sector 3, it's that corner once again, and it's Timbed this time. Chocolat just having to watch as Timbed emerges, the other Haas up into the back of Hazard Time as there's a McLaren of Fierro who went off the road, has compromised his run as Hazard Time is going to get up into the top 10 on those hard tyres where I believe he may be trying to get to the end. This is Benjo now trying to look to go around the outside, Fierro with a slight corner cut, Benjo with no kind of turning at all. And as a contact there, fell through to the back of Herod. Yannick then getting involved as well and spinning himself on the sliding Ferrari. And in all of that, Bino has benefited big time. He's up to 7th. And then he's looking for another one. I don't think he's going to get it there. And he's all over the road. Where is he going, Bino, here? Yannick having to watch out, maybe take a bit of evasive action because it's a bit erratic. There's a swap at the front again. Charlie's swapping positions with Tim Roberts. I said it was teammate play. And that is a big crash. Bino and Yannick. I said there, that's only a VSC somehow. I said there that Bino was being extremely erratic. And I think a crash was inevitable there. One would argue that Yannick could have come across on Bino slightly there, but then you look at the driving from just before as the full safety car has emerged, that Bino was, you know, slightly all over the road. I think certainly both drivers will have an argument of their own, but when it comes to it, I guess the actual crash itself, Yannick came into the path of Bino. So everyone with the pit lane and has a time on his strat will take the lead of the race. Probably not the way he wanted the strat to pan out with a safety car, because then others are right up behind him with tyres that will be fresher. But what this does do for him is it does mean that everyone pits earlier than they were expecting to. I think everyone's pit strategies probably would have been around lap 12 to 15-ish. So everyone has pit earlier, so the tyre deficit isn't as high as it would have been, but what he has now got is the cars right up behind him, whereas he would have had a bit of a gap, especially where he was sitting in P10. He was doing a brilliant race, coming back through the field from last place essentially. But very interesting to see if he can hold on to it. Unfortunately, the strategy element of it has slightly waned away now that he's been inherited the lead early. But you know, the strategy has got him here, and we'll see if Hazard Time can get his first ever podium or race win, or just put off a good point score based off strat. So Charlie in P2, Benjo has stayed out in P3. He went onto the hard tyres as well under the first safety car, so look out for him. Tim Rollfish, Fierro Pro, rounding out the top 5, Shockheim, Callenbert, Chocolat, Herod, Felper in the top 10. Fierro Pro has picked up a penalty as well. I don't know if I keep missing these or if it's not telling me, but he's got a 3 second. And then we await for Tizian, who is well off the pack after serving his 10 seconds in the pit lane after his crash with Dolga. Gives those two a chance to get back into this one. The safety car not helping some in the field. Nearly a crash at the back there from Dolga, I think. But yeah, the likes of Zauber down to 11th there. Callum Birch down to 7th. Really not helping some, and of course it doesn't help Yannick and Bino, who were the bring-abouters of Bern Mailander, who doesn't exist in real life anymore. Not that he died. I realise I worded that quite poorly. He's not dead, but you know, haven't seen him for a while, let's say. because no one likes to crash in F1 anymore. So 14 remain. Safety car is in this lap. Tim Rollfish has picked up a penalty as well. I am missing these, aren't I? So 10 seconds. I'm not sure what for. He can try and get that removed. If he doesn't pit again. But we are underway. Hazard time will lead us underway. And he's got Charlie all over him. And that has caught everyone else napping. Benjo has been completely caught out, and Charlie is gonna go for the move early here, and he's got it into turn 1. Charlie instantly back into the race lead. Tim Rollfish squirming away after making his move on Benjo. That's gonna give the Haas a chance maybe to get back. Fiera Pro got the move done on Benjo, then breaks very late into the Aston Martin. Contact between the two. They get away with it. And there is a position swap though. Fiera Pro ahead of Benjo, Tim Rollfish as well, up a position. Charlie got that position ahead of Hazard Time, who has the gap to run away from Tim Rollfish a little bit. Callum Birch is involved in something. There's a Haas off that Shockheim, who survives a George Russell type crash. Callum Birch is P6 and he's side by side with Benjo as well, and maybe he'd get Fiera Pro if he has a bit of ERS to burn, which he doesn't quite. So Benjo losing another position on this restart. He's then got Shockard behind him, who was running well before the safety car up in P3. Herod, Felper, Zauber, the top 10. As Callum Birch now making that move on Fiera Pro is now done. So some of these guys who haven't pit, maybe the back markers if you will, losing positions as Shockard now goes down the inside of Benjo, who's understeered wide and he's off the track. That's two Hasses in the same lap off. As he re-emerges down in P12, although Tizian's going to see if he can try go around his outside there, nothing doing. At the front though, Herod and Fiera Pro are going side by side, so another position loss for Fiera Pro there. I suspect slide for the Spaniard. It is Spaniard on Spaniard that. But the Spaniard who lost out may lose again here, because Felper's going to try and come at him. Too late on the brakes, Fiera Pro. And similar to a different Spaniard we saw at that corner, Fernando Alonso was caught out by the slow Ferrari and nearly an aeroplane crashed into the back of him. He saves himself and saves Herod from that kind of crash. This is big racing here. Callum Birch, Hazard Time, Tim Rollfish. I do believe Hazard Time's tyres maybe not working too well based off what we've seen from him and others, but side by side between Aston Martin and Mercedes. Aston Martin comes out ahead. Tim Rollfish back into P2, but there is crucially a 4-second gap ahead. Can Callum Birch try and make a move? No, he might try and work with the Dutchman to try and close that gap ahead. There's side by side more Shockard now getting past Hazard Time. So these back markers getting dispatched quite early despite their different strats shooting them up the order. Benjo, Shockard and Fiera Pro right down the order already, and Hazard Time is falling quickly. There is the current man who has the fastest lap. And then Tim Rollfish back in P2. That 10-second time penalty I would believe will be taken away. I am not getting penalty warnings. I think if I pause and unpause it might tell me. Zauber Drachi is in P7 for Timbed. Late on the brakes. Herod ahead of them, and Hazard Time's off the track. Hazard Time is off the track. Where does he rejoin? He rejoins alongside Felper. They're going to go side by side, and Felper gets the move done. Good committed racing from the Swede. He's back on the grid. And he's back showing how good he can be as Timbed makes the mistake and Felper dispatches him as well. Dolga in P10 is looking at Hazard Time. Callum Birch is going to also have a look at Tim Rolfish further up as Dorga then makes that move. Is he going to go for another one on Timbed? Is he going to sneak his nose on the inside? No, he's not. He's going to just stay behind as Callum Birch swapped positions with Tim. The gap has closed by a few tenths. So the race will heat up as we go on. Zauber and Harold are fighting here, and Zauber's going to try to go around the inside. Harold gives him room. Great racing from the two of them. This was not on anyone's bingo card at the start of the season. The reigning champion fighting Zauber on genuine pace. Zauber's going to get the DRS here though, and he's going to go for the move. He may get a double dose of it as well. Zauber not using the overtake, but he's going to get past the Ferrari. Gave him just about enough space, but warned him slightly on the exit. On the entry, sorry. As Tim Rolfish down the inside of Callum Birch is another swap for position. I'm sure we'll see another one on this lap later on. Zauber ahead of Harold, and then more fighting. Felper, opportunistic as ever. Maybe slightly too much because Timber's going to try do the move that Felper did last lap. I can't speak. The action's that good at the minute. Timber up to P7. Felper isn't going to give this one up. What will we see? We may see more drama ahead. Callum Birch, it's very simple for him. Dolga is going to go side by side with Timbed here. Felper very late on the brakes, nearly into the back of Dolga. So Timbed up another position. A very good lap for him. Dolga losing. Dolga needing to save some overtake as well. He is flashing on the rear. But Zauber held on to the position as well. Very well done from him. Tim Rolfish is going to lose another one here. Chocolat going through. Up to P3. And the gap has increased. It's 4.5 now to the leader. Charlie has benefited massively off of that restart. And his pace since has been immense. So Harold staying behind Zauber for another lap. As, ooh, I thought we were going to see some contact there. He's now going to go around the outside, though Zauber locks up. There's maybe not enough space for the two of them there. But everyone's facing in the right direction. Have a look at the penalties. As once again there's a change for second place. There's 13 seconds for Tim Rolfish now, so he's had another 3 seconds. Zauber with 3, Timbed with 3, so both the Red Bulls. As Dolga looking for a move on Timbed. Nothing gonna happen there. A lot of moving and weaving on that long straight. This is where the proper action is. This is where the proper overtaking is coming. Harold managed to get past Zauber. Timbed's gonna go around the outside. Is he gonna make the corner? No! Dolga gets past. Timbed stays on the track, but loses position. Felper on the inside! Keeps it together. Opportunistic move. Not the first time we've seen that from Felper today. This one doesn't come off. So the order here, Harold 5th, Zauber just behind, Dolga, Timbed, Felper has a time, hasn't got the pace to keep up with either of them, as Dolga is going to go to the inside of the Zauber and get the move done. I think there's wing damage now for the German. I believe I did see that correctly. There is wing damage on Zauber's car, as his teammate then up the rear off him. And then, lost the rear on the entry. Held it together. This is some proper scrapping between these guys. Harold has run away slightly now. As once again we're going to see another swap between these guys. The Aston Martin's in the wall together. And Chocolat off the track. There's wing damage now for Chocolat. Oh, that's not good coordination. I know he's not your permanent teammate, but you can't race anyone like that, let alone your teammate. And there's wing damage for one of them now. Timbed has swapped positions with Zauber. That is a bit better teammate coordination than what we just saw by the two guys in green. No one in the pit lane this lap though, so they'll keep going. And Felper's going to get DRS and Dolga here, who isn't going to have any himself, so we're going to see Felper up to P6. Down the inside he goes. Good move. Couldn't stay on the track though. And you can begin to see why people are racking up these warnings now. As Alba's actually down to P13. He's coming to the pit lane. He's onto a set of mediums and he hasn't fixed that front wing. There's quite a bit of damage to that front wing. There's Charlie up front. Had it fairly comfortable so far. He'll hope he doesn't do a Lando Norris Singapore type scare. Albeit Lando Norris did get away with it that day. No penalties for him so far either, which tends to be a bit of an attribute to him. Tim Rolfish is getting feisty now, which will play into the hands of the Alpine out front. It's very rare we ever see an Alpine win in VRP. It looks increasingly likely like we're going to see it today, as Tim is all over the road. Those rears are really starting to get away from him. Oh! We see it yet again, Tim sliding on exit. I do believe his race may begin to come undone from him with those penalties and those tyres. It's just whether Callum Birch can make the gap. There's another lock-up from one of these drivers into these corners. It's getting to the stage now where if you don't see someone lock up, it means they're not running ABS. Oh, they are running ABS, I should say, but yeah, I think Tim Rolfish is going to make the move again here. Is he close enough? Is he close enough? No, he isn't. Oh, and then he's had another huge snap. And every time he has a snap, the game instantly ghosts him. Felper has got past Herod, so either a mistake from the Ferrari or great pace from the V-carb. Tim really struggling on those tyres. But the wing damage that Chocolat has means he can't get close enough to the DRS. He's just outside it again by 1,000th. I think he's missed out on it. And Tim's in the wall. Tim is in the wall. Well, we all knew it was coming. I'm surprised he didn't pit because the way he was driving, it was always going to happen. He had no confidence on the rears. And the one Aston Martin who didn't have a damaged front wing is now essentially out of the running for a major position if we have no safety car. So Chocolat with the wing damage, Tim Rolfish with also wing damage now, but also the tyre damage, and the midfield pack, who has given us great racing throughout, are the beneficiaries of it. Felper into P4, but I don't know how much longer he's going to hold it because Herod is behind with DRS on this long straight here. The longest straight on the track. Herod is immediately past, medium as well on the ERS. Felper was in none, so he was ready to accept what was coming. Tim Baird has got past Dolga, so that's for P6 and 7. And the race has really come undone for the other man who was involved in this fight, Zawa, who's down in last place. Shame to see. He was racing well, qualified well, but sometimes the luck doesn't go your way. So Rolfis on his tyres. Has it got any better for him? Maybe not. Maybe not, but no spin this time, but he's got wing damage. The gap at the front is coming down. Callum Birch has brought it down from 4.5 to about 3.9, which it was on the restart. So maybe the Mercedes has the pace advantage over Charlie, and he won the season finale, did Callum Birch. The season finale winner before that was Charlie, so that's a weird coincidence. But Callum Birch, can he get 2 from 2 and the first win on his first win as a main driver, I should say, as Tim Baird and Dolga are looking to swap positions, and that is the Turk going past the German, and Tim Rolfish. Is he gonna get a bit lucky here? No, but he might, because Tim Baird had a moment. The DRS not favouring Tim Baird either. There's a yellow flag somewhere, I think that's Sauber. And down the inside goes Tim Rolfish. It was the outside, I should say. Getting everything wrong at the minute. But change of position there. Further down, Benjo is in the points. P9. Tizian as well, so Hazard time has come in to pit. He's on the medium, so he's going to charge back through and charge back through on Shockheim. He does. The gap at the front significantly less, 3.2 now, but a 3-second penalty for Callum Birch. Big lockup from Felper. As Tim Rollfish is back past Dolga. Dolga is ghosted, so I don't know what's gone on there, but Tim Rollfish P6 now, another 3-second time penalty. So the game's still not telling me about these 3-second time penalties. So have a look quickly at Callum Birch's warning rate. So he's got 1, he's got 2, and he's got 3 on the last lap. He got a penalty. If he can keep his nose clean, he may be able to appeal 1 if it was unjust. But there's still about 9 laps to go when Charlie crosses the line here, so there's every chance the race leader picks up a 3-second as well. Though Callum Birch losing a bit of time through sector 3. Chocolat without wing damage isn't competitive to these two anymore, although that's a nice shot of them all on the same straight. Felper and Herod swapping positions again. Dolga may have to swap positions with Timbed again as Zalba comes out the pit lane. He is now lapped. Herod getting past Felper in the foreground, and in the background there is nothing doing for Timbed so far because Dolga has DRS on Tim Rollfish. And you might also want to keep an eye on Hazard Time, who is having a charge down on those points positions. I know it's 9 seconds, but he's got tyre advantage. So he can certainly go for the points. He's closed the gap down significantly since he got past Shockeye and Tizian, got past Benjo, who's caused the yellow flag out there. .4 the gap out front now from Callum Birch. That's right on board with him, and just see how much we can see him gaining through the corners as the two in 4th and 5th place swap positions all the time. So the gap already coming down, and Timbed's out. Timbed has had a crash, and there's a safety car. A late safety car in this race. Timbed at the last corner has had an issue. I don't know if that's involved with Dolga or if it's a crash on his own. But the Red Bull bandwagon has fully lost his wheels. As there's a pit lane crash right there. Tizian and Benjo. But those with penalties now are gonna be wincing. Felper, Callum, Tim, Hazard Time, Tizian, Shockeye, and Fiera Pro Zalba. They're wincing. Do you know who's laughing? Benjo, Dolga, Herod, Shockeye, Charlie. They have no penalties. This is the time for them to properly gain. Get into the pit lane, fix your wing damage. And I tell you what, the drivers like Charlie, Callum, Shockard are lucky they didn't catch the safety car and have been able to do another lap. Charlie's going to come into the pit lane now. I assume we're going to see soft tyres for the majority now. And indeed we do for Tizian, Benjo, Shockeye, and Fiera Pros are old. Zalba's on them as well. Can he unlap himself? He can. Zalba's unlapped himself. So he's still in this one. It's all to play for, because you know Callum Birch has a penalty, but does Charlie get one? Does Callum Birch get his removed? Charlie has 1 warning all race long. Callum Birch has multiple. So maybe his fight could be slightly off. Chocolat hasn't got a penalty. He has 1 warning. So he's still in this. Harold isn't still in this. It's a late safety car. You know what happens when late safety cars come out. It's not going to be clean. I can tell you that. It's not going to be clean. So we'll see where that drama unfolds, and if it's at the front, well, Charlie may begin to feel quite robbed. A little tactic Callum could do, and you know, I wouldn't advise this, but if I was a driver, it'd be on my mind a little bit. You know, if you get alongside, maybe a little push off the track, give the opposition a little warning. Maybe do it again. He might get a penalty. You know, these are the things that you have to think of when you're fighting for a race win. I feel like after saying that, I don't advise it, but it is something you will see from time to time. I mean, they do it in real F1. I mean, no, I'm not going to name any drivers because I don't want people to think I'm a so-and-so fanboy here or there. To be honest, I'm not a fanboy of anyone. I couldn't care less. I just like good racing. But I will save myself the hassle. What I am a fanboy of, though, however, and I haven't mentioned all stream, is the old Wycombe Wanderers, who are still drawing 0-0 and haven't had a shot on target. Brilliant. Arsenal are winning. Barcelona are winning. Dortmund are winning. And Man City are winning. Of course they are. They're playing. Yeah. Exeter are winning as well, which is Charlie's team. So if the day couldn't get any better for Charlie, there you go. I can't run through the whole grid and tell you who everyone supports and if they're having a good day because of it. I'm not that well invested. I actually don't know any of the others' teams, so I think Dogger supports Fenerbahce, but I don't think they're in the Champions League, sorry. Unlucky. Though I like Jose, so yeah. That doesn't make me a Jose fanboy. I'm ranting as a safety car, what do you expect? We're still waiting for Fiera Pro and Zalba to catch. If they're going to be allowed to, it might come in this lap. Because it's been out a while. No, they're going to get a chance to catch. We'll come off of that, in case you get motion sickness. It's a great game, EA, mate. It's a great game, EA, mate. You know, it's always a great game when developers make it so that everything you get in the game has to come post-release. You know, this year we'll give you one helmet you can choose from, one helmet, and over time we'll slowly drip feed you more, which you have to pay for, by the way. You know, you have to pay, because why wouldn't you? In this day and age, you can't have a game where you pay almost 100 quid without having to then pay more money just to get a visual. Benefit's a strong word because it does nothing. Visual satisfaction of having a helmet. And then don't get me started on the liveries and F1 world. Oh my god, EA. Go screw yourselves, man. It's half time in the Barnsley Wycombe game. I think the safety car's coming in. A lot of lag on board the Alpines. We'll not do that, we'll just watch from off board. I will cover the tyres for you all you need to know is VRP is the only one not on softs. We're going to get underway here for a very dramatic restart. Expect some chaos. This is league racing, and this is a late race safety car with everyone on soft tyres, people with penalties and everything to play for in a season opener. Turn that kettle off and sit down right now. Don't even blink. Watch this. Because this will be good or bad, but it will be chaotic. I promise you on that. Charlie has got himself underway. Does anyone have an issue out of turn? The last turn, I don't know the turn numbers. No, they don't. Charlie's weaving already. He feels the pressure from Callum Birch, who does have a penalty. But riding into turn 1, everyone's so far cleanly getting away single file. How long does that remain? Because we have 4 laps. 4 laps for anyone to become a hero. 4 laps for anyone to rather become a zero. There's swapping positions already. Tim Rollfish and Benjo. Benjo spun, and that's collected hazard time. There's a reset to track for Benjo as well, so the stewards aren't going to like that. But there is our first piece of drama. Benjo and hazard time involved in an incident. And the race is open up for Zalbadraka, who at one point was out of the points in last place and a lap down. Callum Birch is under pressure from Chocolat behind. Chocolat has the pace at the minute and hasn't got a penalty. More swapping positions at the back. Tim Rollfish is coming back through the field. He's past Tizian as well. He had several penalties to serve. I believe he served his 10-second and fixed his front wing, hence why he lost so many positions. Schockheim is in the points now as Charlie rounds the final corner. He's going to lead lap 26. He's led basically every lap, all but one and a few under safety car when hazard time was leading. It's been very dominant so far, and he's got 3 to go. There's a yellow flag in the back. That's hazard time now without a full front wing. Callum Birch, Chocolat and Herod are still in this. Felper trying to shake off the clutches of Dolga, who's right behind. Tim Rollfish, as we know, is charging back through. Tizian at 8, Zalba 9. Fiera Pro has made his way up into the points as well, although he's side by side with Schockheim. And there's penalties to hand out for drivers all over the field there. Hazard times, race has come to an end. Here's your first casualty of the safety car restart. As Callum Birch is going to go for the move now. The DRS is enabled and Callum Birch down the inside of Charlie. There's a change of position for the lead, though the driver who has changed that position has a penalty. He's going to get the double dose of DRS, and Chocolat will have DRS as well. Charlie left exposed, and Charlie has left the lead position behind. As Chocolat touches the curb too early and unsettles his car. Late on the brakes, Charlie desperate to get that lead back. He's going to get a chance to do it here. As Dolga has got past Felper, that battle is going to commence, but we're watching the lead group now as Callum Birch already weaving down the straight. Moved once, that's fine. DRS now will enable for Charlie and Chocolat. Herod has been dropped behind them. You can just see how much these drivers are having to work, especially through the dirt. Yeah, Charlie's going to go for it already. Charlie has to back out, and I don't think that was the right call, because Chocolat now is going to be all over the back of him. Why would you go for the move there? Someone could question. That didn't seem like the smart choice to go for. Chocolat now has been able to get side by side. He's going to now go to the inside, push his way through. That's brilliant. We're going to watch the offboard because I think Chocolat might come out in the lead here. No, Charlie around the outside. What a move. Although Chocolat's got the run. Chocolat has the run. Charlie hasn't got the DRS. Chocolat to the inside. Can he hold it? Penultimate lap, the drama is kicking off now in the background. There's a big fight as well. Herod trying to fight off Dolga. Charlie somehow still got the lead. Callum Birch going around the outside, has got it. Herod diving late, making it 3 wide, and they're all off. Herod's on top of Chocolat somehow. Dolga's up into a podium position from Felper in P3. The drama has fully kicked off. I told you, you had to sit down and watch it, because look at what is happening. Charlie is in first place somehow still. Dolga is up into a podium position without a penalty, and Felper, who has DRS, is looking if he can improve upon his third place with a penalty. However, Tim Rollfish in 4th, Chocolat and Herod are somehow still only 5th and 6th. Callum Birch fell down to 8th. This is the final lap, and I think throughout the drama, Charlie is going to take the race win. Felper late on the brakes compared to Dolga. He's looking to see if he can get any more positions out of this one. 6 seconds of time penalties. He's going to have to run away from some of those. This is going to be a big result for Charlie. This is going to be a big result for Dolga as well. First and second at the minute. Felper's going to try and make the move. He's going to do it. Dolga will let him go because he knows Felper has those penalties, which will probably be unlikely removed when he has 6 seconds of them. Coming around the last 2 corners now though. With the pink helmet, in the pink car, Alpine and Charlie MJ06 off to a winning start in Season 6. Round 1 goes to Charlie, Dolga on the podium with him, and Felper in P3, no, Chocolat gets it. Harold 4th, Felper 5th, Tim 6th, Callum Birch 7th, Tizian in 8th, and the battle for the final points will go to Zauber in 9, and Fiera Pro may get 10. Benjo will have a 10-second time penalty for resetting to track. The drama came, the drama arrived, and the drama has won and lost it for certain drivers. Already the thoughts flying in on who was at fault for the last corner, so the second to last corner incident. Of course, we saw they were 2 wide, and there was an attempt to make it 3 wide from a driver. Thoughts on a postcard as to who you want to blame on that one? I'm still streaming, I just remembered. Hello guys, bye guys, thank you for joining us, that was a great race. Join us for round 2 next week, I don't know who'll be streaming it. Goodbye.